Hello again, it's April here and welcome back to another video. This video is going to be like an arty video, but it's not just one painting, it's 5. And it's called a week of 1 hour, 1 layer. So I have done a few 1 hour, 1 layers before and I haven't actually shared them anywhere apart from my stories on Instagram, just because I'm still learning how to paint landscapes and trying different techniques and things. But I haven't done it for a while and I thought making a video about it would get me back into the groove. So that's what this video is about. And some of the paintings turned out okay. I definitely learned a lot of stuff as I went. So what is 1 hour, 1 layer? It is a challenge, I guess, from Chelsea BLECHA. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name, but she is an amazing artist. I absolutely love her work. And if you scroll down her Instagram feed, you'll find some of these 1 hour, 1 layers that she started quite a long time ago. And she also has a bundle on Gumroad where you can get the process videos for them, which I've also downloaded and tried my hardest to analyze, but they're like 30 seconds long, so it's a bit tricky. And I fell in love with this idea. I really wanted to get better at digital art and landscapes and things. So I started it a while ago, but like I said, I got a bit out of it. So a couple of weeks ago, I decided every weeknight I would do 1 hour, 1 layer. And really, once you get going, it's not too bad because it's literally just an hour. Like if you can just give yourself an hour out of the day, it doesn't even have to be an hour. I've been watching a lot of people on YouTube do like speed paints and things, digital speed paints, and some of them are only 10 minutes, some of them are half an hour. And basically the idea is to have a set amount of time and try and have kind of like a finished, almost finished piece, I guess, sketchy piece. But then as you go, you'll get faster and you'll get better. And in an hour, you'll have something amazing, hopefully. I mean, that's the plan. So for the first day, I got these lovely mountains, like misty mountains. I believe they were in Vietnam. And I just decided to go with them because I thought they would be easy. Now, the thing about this whole challenge and about painting landscapes is that I don't know what style I want to do. I don't know what techniques, what brushes I want to do. It all is very unnatural to me because not only is it landscapes, which I don't really have much experience with, it's also going straight into Procreate and doing it digitally without any sketches first. And both those two things are a little bit scary, which is kind of why I wanted to do this challenge in the first place. So you'll see me using a lot of different techniques throughout these 5 videos. Tried lots of different brushes. Some of these brushes I downloaded and I'll pop everything in the description below. I believe these are one of the brushes that I downloaded from a pack and they're very textural, and some of the brushes you'll see later on have special techniques like their leaf brushes or their grass brushes, things like that. And I actually used one of those at the end here to bring some little sparkles into the sky, which is quite nice. So this one here I really enjoyed doing. It took me quite a while to get kind of the misty look, and yeah, so here you can see those little sparkle brushes I'm bringing on, just to add a little bit of texture. But I was really happy with this one. It's not quite the style I want to go to, but it's kind of close. It's a bit closer than some of the images that we'll see later on anyway. And the second one is some more lovely mountains, very different this time. I think this is somewhere Switzerland. I found it on Pinterest, and I'll actually leave the link below to the Pinterest board that I have all of my reference on if you guys want to have a look through that or maybe try this yourself. So for this one, I tried to do traditional painting and I used the gouache brush in Procreate. So if you guys have used gouache and you've used Procreate, you will know that they are not similar at all. This is completely different than traditional gouache, but I just went with it anyway. Here I'm realizing that the underpainting of yellow that I chose was completely wrong and it has more of a blue feel. So I basically just filled the layer in a few times with blue, give everything a blue tint, and then I basically just started again. And I think out of all the paintings that I did for this video, this one's probably my favorite, even though it's not exactly like where I want to be or what I see for myself in the future. Like I don't even know what I want or like where I want to go with landscape painting. That's why I'm trying all these different things. But I know that this isn't where I want to go because it's very soft at the end. I definitely think it's heading kind of in a more painterly style, which I really enjoy. yeah, I might try and use the gouache brush in future, maybe tighten the edges a little bit more when I get into more of the details. So with this painting, I went from really big to really small details. So you'll see that I did all of the shapes of the mountains first, and then I kind of break it down into smaller steps, and then smaller steps, getting more details as I go, until finally I'm adding the snow on at the end and all the little bushes and flowers and things. I've been watching a lot of landscape painters, mainly people that paint traditionally, like in oil, but also quite a few people that paint digitally. And most of them are kind of fantasy artists that I found that paint digital, which isn't really where I want to head with my art, but you still get some really good tips. And I will also leave the links to some really cool traditional and digital people that I have been following on YouTube if you guys want to have a look and up your landscape skills like I'm trying to do. I love all the colours in this one, like all the blues and greys and tan colours. And I have no idea why my voice is going. I haven't, oh, you know why? It's because I've been singing Disney songs for the last 2 hours. That's probably why. I really love the composition of this image too. It's something that I definitely probably wouldn't think to do on my own. So that's another good thing about using references, is that you kind of find things that you normally wouldn't do. Moving on to the third painting. This one I think is somewhere in Europe. I'm not quite sure, I can't remember. But the colours sang to me. I mean, look how beautiful those pinks are. And they have little houses in and everything. So I thought this would be a little bit different because I haven't included anything with kind of human elements to begin with. So going into this painting, I decided to have a completely different technique again. I'm basically just trying lots of new things. This one here is what I was thinking I would do if I was in my sketchbook. So I started off with a sketch, and then I'm kind of blocking in the colors as I go, and at the end I add detail. So the best part about this was picking the colors. For each of these paintings, to save time, I brought in the image and then I made a color palette from that image, and I cropped it to the same size of the photo. So basically the size was perfect and the colors, I had like a colors to pick from, so I didn't have to think about it. But a lot of people I've been watching online suggest not to color pick from photos or use the photos as a color palette, and try to use your eye and train your eye to pick colors that are correct. But the problem is you have an hour. I'm not like amazing at drawing landscapes or anything at the moment. I don't want to have another layer of like thinking and learning on top of that. So for this, I just went ahead and made my own color palette. Sometimes it gets a little bit confusing because when you put a photo into Procreate and you create a color palette from it, it gives you like probably 25 colors, and a lot of them are very similar, and you don't know where those colors came from. What I think I'm going to do in the future is create my own color palette from that and not use like the Photoshop robot, because the Photoshop robot sometimes doesn't really pick the colors that I would pick, and it's a bit confusing. So I will pop on 2 color palettes on the left here so you can kind of see. The top one is what Procreate picks, and then the bottom one is what I've gone in and I picked myself. So you can see the colors are like a lot more limited and probably easier to pick certain values and things. And at the end, I'm just adding those swans in, and here you can see I've definitely gone a little bit crazy with that leaf brush. I definitely think brushes like these need to be used sparingly. So moving on to number 4, and this one I believe I tried to pick a hard brush because I wanted to just take it right back to basics and not worry about texture or blending or any fancy brush techniques, and just use a hard round brush, which is what I'm pretty sure I did. And this one here also has another little barn in it. So I actually showed the third one, the pink one, to Martin when I finished, and he told me that the perspective was well off, and I was like, thanks Martin, I'm learning, don't judge me. So I thought I would include another little building in this one, but a little bit simpler. I really like the idea of having landscapes, but also showing that humans or like civilization have touched it or kind of like in there, and then it's like nature and humans. I don't know how to explain it, but you guys know what I mean. Did I mention this is the one I like the least out of all of them? I don't really like this brush at all. I think the colors are a little bit off, and I don't know, I just don't really like the style of it. So I don't think I'll be doing this again, but I think I need to revisit this blobby kind of stylized shapes, because I do enjoy that. It was just everything else, I don't know. I just don't really think I like this picture as much as the other ones. Maybe it's just not as colourful. I think I kind of fixed it at the end with all these little dots. I don't know if it's too busy. I was trying to bring what I do with paintings and sketches and stuff into this to kind of make it more me, but I definitely think I went a little bit overboard on the road. And then this is the last one. This is actually a photo that Martin took, I think, and it's a place called Prinstead, which is near where Martin's parents live, and when we go visit them, we sometimes go here for a walk. It's really lovely. It's next to like an estuary, I guess. The tide is normally out, so you just see all of the rocks and like the slimy seaweed, and people go like, I guess they go walking out there looking for stuff in the sand and things. But we just go for a nice little walk along the path. So I tried a different technique this time. I basically wanted to see if I could get the value right before I got the color right. So I used all black and white. I made the picture black and white just with using the saturation in Procreate. And then I just used black and white to kind of get the tones down. I don't know if I like working like this, to be honest. It's kind of a little bit, it feels like too many steps. Like I would rather just learn how to pick the right colors, because the next step for this is having a layer on saturation, I think, or color, where you have to pick the colors and then you paint over, and basically it just changes the colors. I mean, it's like a magic there, you know. But what happens is the top layer that you have the color on kind of reacts differently than you would expect, and it actually makes things lighter and brighter. So I merged the two layers together, and then I go in and I basically just paint over it because the colors were completely off. And I do really like how this one finished. It isn't really the style I want to go in, but I do like how it finished. So maybe this is a good technique and something I should revisit. This whole experiment kind of just showed to me that, like, with the question of style, I'm not really sure what I should do, because I can keep experimenting, keep trying different things, but if I keep doing that, I'm not going to nail anything down. So I'm not sure if I should go away from digital and start painting with paint, or even sketching with pencil, because that to me comes a lot more easily. I don't have to think about so much. I don't have to think about what colors I'm picking, what brush I'm picking, if layers need to be different opacity or different blending modes. I think it's a lot simpler, and that way I might be able to find the style I want to use, because Martin was talking to me the other day and he was saying it's very well having your style of a landscape, but I want to put my characters into a landscape or into an environment in the end. And if I do them completely separate, like if I work on my landscape separately, work on characters separately, when I come to put them together at the end, they're not going to go together. So I really love doing these, and I think I'm going to continue to do them just because I enjoy doing them. But I also think separately I need to go into my sketchbook and start working with props, environments, little mini scenes with my characters in, so I don't have like completely separate styles. So anyway, that was the end of my 1 week of 1 hour, 1 layer. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm very sorry my throat is croaky. I probably should stop singing Frozen songs loudly. But yeah, if you want to try this, definitely let us know below if you are on Instagram or if you're on YouTube and you're sharing these, because it'd be really cool to see what other people are doing. And if you use the hashtag 1 hour, 1 layer, I believe you can find other people that have done this as well. It would be super helpful if you let me know which one you like, which one you think suits me and my style, because you guys have probably seen my videos and my artwork. From an outside perspective, that would be awesome. So that is all for today. I hope you guys have a lovely week, and I will catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.